minutes.
Madam Secretary, I had looked forward to your being here so we could have a credible discussion about housing and what HUD is doing. But this attack that's been started by the chair of this committee is unacceptable. Now, first of all, I want the world to know both Democrats and Republicans treat our veterans in this country very well. Nobody is against disabled veterans. And if there are discrepancies or differences in what it takes for the veterans to qualify, then we need to straighten that out here in the Congress of the United States of America. And so let me just say this. When we started out this morning, I said in jest, the fight is on. But I want you to know that instead of, going into some of these questions, I would simply ask my chairman to treat you with respect and to allow you to answer the questions. Every time you attempt to answer the questions, he is interrupting you. So I don't want you to be upset or disturbed by this, but I'm going to ask all of my colleagues to treat you with respect. Having said that, I'm appreciative for the work that you're doing. I'm appreciative for the fact that we need more resources in this country to deal with housing and homelessness. But my friends on the opposite side of the aisle are budget cutters. They're not ones to support the subsidies that are needed and the opportunities that could be developed for developers who would like to build affordable housing. And so let me just say that in the 117th Congress, as then I was the chairwoman of this committee on housing and inflation. One of our witnesses, Ms. Margaret Eady, who was experiencing homelessness herself, stated in her testimony, and I quote, she just simply said, "You don't know how good it is to have a knob to turn every evening, to enter a space where you're safe and not in danger until that is taken away from you," quote unquote. That is such a simple yet powerful statement for those of us who have a safe, stable, and affordable home to go to every night. We not always recognize how housing is at the heart of everything. For that reason, federal housing programs are an anchor for millions of people across the country who would otherwise be forced into homelessness or unable to access fair and affordable housing. Yet, HUD's budget is again on the chopping block. As early as next week, HUD could be facing a potential shutdown as Congress works toward another budget deal and extreme MAGA Republicans continue their campaign to defund federal housing programs. So can you tell us what a HUD shutdown, budget cuts, or program eliminations would mean for the stability and prosperity of families, communities, and our nation? The question that the chair put to you about what are you doing to build more housing is unfair. But what would it mean if they shut down this government?
Thank you so very much, Ranking Member Waters. Let me just say two things quickly. The president proposed a plan called Build Back Better that addressed the housing crisis head on, and it was not passed. So we had the opportunity to address it. Secondly, if we are put in a position where we don't get our resources, not only does it delay the distribution of funds to communities all across the country, we have CDBG, we have all kinds of homeless resources, we do a lot of things, disaster recovery. All of those things would be curtailed until such time as we were able to move forward. So we are certainly hopeful that we don't find ourselves not being able to fund public housing, be able to fund rental housing and housing vouchers. So I just can say to you that it would be devastating to the people of this nation who depend on our work.
Thank you so very much for appearing before us today. I want you to know that I'm extraordinarily appreciative for the leadership that you're providing in HUD. and the work that your team is doing. And with that, I yield back.
Gentleman from